So I wanted to share with you a very interesting conversation I had yesterday with my cousin, which was actually related to my previous video, which was about strategic planning. And we had a very interesting conversation about whether or not we should be planning strategically or whether we should just let our intuition guide you and let the flow really guide you. And I was very surprised to see that at first I was convinced that, of course, you need to have a strategy. Of course, you need to set up a goal and you need to reverse engineer and you need to understand what is your next step according to the strategy that you're setting up for yourself. And that made so much sense to me that I wasn't even able to see that there might be another way to look at it. And so we kept arguing where he would, say, well, there might be another way to do it. And I would say, of course not. The only way to do it is to know where you want to go, to have a specific direction, to set up your end goal, and then to reverse engineer and to know exactly what is your step, the step that you want to take today. So I'm sure that you can relate to that because it makes sense. That's what we speak about in business. That's what we speak about in any project that you want to realize, whether it's an artistic project or whether it's something that you do in your professional life or in your personal life, whether you want to buy a house or you want to open a business, you want to grow your business, everything is going to work with project planning, goal setting, and knowing how to achieve your goals. And while I was talking to him, I felt that something was shifting in my head. And I felt that, there might be another way that I'm overlooking and I might be blinded by my need to control, that need that you have, that you need to control the outcome, you need to control the results, you need to control the steps, you need to know where you're going. And this was basically my fear of surrendering. And this is what I want to talk about today, because you might be relating to that, and you might be also, knowing that you have a hard time to let go and you don't know how to surrender. And then I realized that many times in my life, I had made choices not based on a strategy, but based on a gut feeling. And it's a very interesting concept for me, comparing decision making or, choosing a certain path based on your gut or decision making based on a strategy. And I realized that I was saying that strategy was the only way, but really I was acting differently. I was acting according to my gut. And I was sometimes justifying the strategy based on my intuition. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it sounds familiar. And so I also realized that the way I do my business coaching or the work I do with my clients is not only based on strategy, even though we do the Excels and we have the goals and we do short term, mid term, long term, like all good coaching, and we know exactly where we're going and we're focusing. But at the end of the day, in my interaction with them, I'm going to use my intuition. I'm going to use what I hear in the subtext or what I hear that they don't say. Or sometimes they would say this is my goal, but I would feel that it's not really aligned with who they are or what they really want. And I know that some of my peers or my mentors or my friends, they do that with me too, right? I would say this is my goal. This is what the goal I want to reach, and this is the strategy. And then they would say to me, are you sure? Is this aligned with who you are on a scale of 1 to 10? How much is this aligned? And so I find this fascinating that we say something, but we act differently. And my invitation to you today is whenever you make a decision, try to see how much is it based on your strategy and on your need to control and need to know exactly what the outcome is, and how much is it based on the flow, on the organic decision-making process that is going to take you where you really want to go, even if this is not your strategy. So this is my invitation for today. I hope that this is helpful. I know that at the end of the day, when we sat down and discussed with my cousin yesterday, we didn't agree in the beginning. And then at the end, we both agreed that we needed both, right? We need the strategy, we need the flow, we need the surrender, we need the control. And I think that this is the beauty of us being humans and being able to use our head for the strategy and our, heart or our intuition for surrendering to our gut feeling and our intuition. And this is what makes it exciting. So next time you have a decision to make, pay attention to this and see how much it's strategy based or intuition based. And I'd love to hear your comments in the feed below if you have this experience of this, if this conversation is resonating with you. See you soon. Bye bye.